Hello everyone and welcome to new television 2 video with a leak once again, and hopefully it will only be a leak from here, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. So today we are looking at Onord here, called Lord of the PTRs, playing against Mimile. So these are two Division 1 players, and Onord is playing to a night tank on Maverick Income versus Mimile's Panzer Lehr on V for Victory. So an interesting division and income matchup. So definitely curious to see what happens here. Now I have already checked out the other game between these two as well. It's a very short one, so it probably won't be cast by anyone. So just for so that you know, Mimile won that game. So if he can win this one as well, he will be the first Division 1 player who actually gets a full-on win under his belt, which would be really great for him, of course, and not so good or a bad start for Onord. So yeah, that's so not much at stake, but still, it can definitely help or hurt depending on who wins this game. But anyway, let's now go to the decks. And I want to start with 29th Tank, a division that we hardly ever see. Really can't remember the last time I actually saw this. It is at the bottom of the tier list usually. It's just not that good in general. However, as with most divisions that aren't great these days, they are playable. It really just depends heavily on the matchup and the map. And I think Slutsk is actually the map where this division can shine. But yeah, let's get into it. So recon type, we do have some recon in the armored transport, then we have some Resvetkas and Su-57s, so nice units there. Infantry type is very limited. We have some Strelkis, Gavadias, Avtos, and Tankos, and no infantry in sea phase, not even a leader either, so only 42 units. That's just not that much. Tank type, another problem that you can have here is that there's just not that many medium tanks, or I mean cheap medium tanks. You have the T-35s, but these are getting a little bit more expensive, but you have only one card of T-34 42s. Now there is something to make up for that in the AT tab, as you're gonna see. But anyway, we get some IS2s as well, which is quite nice. He brings one in A, and one into it is the 9043 variant, so only 160 millimeters of armor. But against lots of things, this is actually more than enough still. So that's gonna be interesting to see, I guess. And then support tab is very limited. He brings the flamers, machine guns, and ammo, and I think there's not much else there if I remember correctly. A T-tab, we have something that is probably unique here. I'm not sure if there's other Soviet divisions that have it, but it's not that many, that's for sure. We have the Soviet M10. So it's an M10, you know it, without the APCR. So this is basically the same as the Commonwealth get, but and it's really just a better Panzer IV, really, at the end of the day. It has slightly better stats, same armor, and it's cheaper than the Panzer IV-H, which in terms of penetration and armor is the one that compares the best to this. However, this one, the Soviet one, does not have any machine guns, so it's 5 points less compared to the Commonwealth one. Um, and if you only want to use it against tanks, that's actually a great trade-off in my opinion. Otherwise, just the standard tools, 45 mils is 3 is 2. AA tab, pretty standard as well, 25 mils, 37 mils, nothing out of the ordinary there. The artillery tab has the off-map, the 76 millimeters off-map. It's one of the few divisions that have it. It's really not good, but it's only 40 points, and I think for 40 points, it's actually fairly decent, if you know that if you are aware of what you're getting for it. Let's put it at that. And some 82 mm mortars with the motorbikes, and some Katyushas, although I don't know. Katyushas are not that good, so I'm surprised to see them here. The air type, quite nice as well. We have the LA5 FN. It's not a phenomenal fighter, but it's okay. And then you have the Bostons with some massive loadouts. And on the other side, we have Lehr on V for Victory, something that I haven't seen yet, I think. It's definitely not the income that I would expect with Panzer Lehr, but I'm definitely going to be curious to see how this plays out. So the recon tab, we do have some regular recon and then some SPW234s and Pumas. That's actually they're both SPW234s. I have to say SPW234/1 and some Pumas as well as some Afklar Panzer 4. Infantry tab is just some Panzer Grenadiers in A, B, and C phase. These are of course special because they come in forced with the half track, but they get a Panzerschreck and still only cost 30 points. Basically, you pay for the half track with the reduced speed, right? That's kind of how it works, and then you get the Panzerschreck on top of it for free. The unit itself is actually only 25 points, and then you have 5 points for the half track. So That's how it technically works. But for all intents and purposes, you pay with speed, basically. And then we have some short ponies in A and B phase, as well as a leader with another half track. Tank tab is, yeah, it's just Panthers and Panzer IV, so nothing wrong there. We have some Panthers A and D leaders in A phase, as well as some Panzer IV Hs, and then some Panzer IV H leader and Panzer IV's H regular variants in B and C phase, as well as a lot of Panthers in C phase. No veteran C, 8 Panther A's. Wow. I hope we're going to see lots of them then. A support tab, pretty standard. I mean, if you have four things that you bring, there's usually these four, right? Flamers, MG42, some sort of 2K here, the Grille, and some ammo. AT tab, some nice options there. Of course, Pack 40 is definitely going to be needed against T-3485s. And then the mod 3 is always great to upgrade. A tab, you have the SDK sets and one, some 88s, and the verbal win, so all nice tools there as well. And then the other tab, of course, you have the mighty 300mm Nebelwerfer. It brings one card in B and one in C phase. That's definitely going to be needed because there's nothing else that can actually kill the IS-2, right? So the Panther, I mean, technically the Panthers can pen it, but at max range is not going to happen. Then some mortars, air tab, quite light with some Focke-Wulf, Infighter bombers, and recon roll. Going back to the map, we are, as always, going to talk about deployment. But first, I actually want to point out something about the map here. So if you look at it, you will notice that it is very, very one-sided, I feel. Blue is definitely the better side here, so Mimile got lucky. This is one of the reasons why this map is not that commonly played, I feel like, in tournament settings, because Blue just has a much easier job grabbing these flags because they're so close to the front line. Now, we're going to go to deployment, then I'm going to talk as we see everything driving to the front line a little bit about what my expectations are, because I think there's some important stuff to talk about with this matchup. But let's look at deployments first. So Onord basically deploys relatively conservatively. He actually takes this route, which you don't see players do very often, but it's actually a smart way, because if you go through this road here, you can actually get sniped. But yeah, just some AT, Maxim, some more AT. Yeah, looks like it. And on the other side, we do have Mimile also not deploying super aggressive. He doesn't actually try to push here, which is what you commonly see blue side doing. Looks like both players just decide to hold this for now. And then we have a Panzer D here on the hill. Because it's more covering the town and not the open actually, and an early SK set to protect it. That's definitely a wise choice. And then on the other side, we do see a push right into the center by Onord, which from here is probably not going to get stopped by Mimile's Panzer D actually. Yeah, we have some T-34-45s, M10, and some recon. So aggressive push in the middle, love to see it. For the town, classic defensive deployment. CQC infantry into the town, and then here covering off with some range units and AA and AT. And then on the very north, we have just the defensive deployment, so Onord not trying to get into this town, which is reasonable. It is relatively difficult to contest there because he can support his infantry there with tanks with all these Panzer X. On the other side, we do see Mimile going defensive for this town, going defensive here and then going more aggressive here with some flamers and whatnot. So pretty classical deployments overall, although this one is a little bit of a rarer one. Now, what we need to keep in mind here is that so Onord has a very distinct advantage here with his IS-2 because Mimile has no tool to directly kill this, right? He cannot directly contest the IS-2 whatsoever. However, at the same time, he can still kill it with his Nebelwerfers, so it's not impenetrable for him. And everywhere where the IS-2 can't be everywhere, right? So everywhere that the IS-2 isn't, as long as there's a Panther, Mimile will have the advantage because T-34-45s will struggle against Panthers at range. Now, yes, the Panther is more expensive, but it's not that huge of a step up. Now, at the same time, the T-34-85s will at max range win against Panzer IVs. They can even outrange them, but up close the Panzer IVs can uptrade. So it's a very odd mix of matchups here. So it really depends on who can play around their advantages the most, which I love to see. Now, I would definitely say that I think Onord has, in terms of the units, a little bit of an advantage because there's a lot of open to contest where the IS-2 will absolutely shred. But Mimile has the flag advantage or the map advantage. I mean, look at that. He already grabbed this flag. It's definitely great to see. Flamethrower got in, and these units are getting in. Panther D is moving forward. Now gets vision. Oh, first pen. Actually, we shouldn't zoom in that much because otherwise we're going to miss some other stuff. Trying to listen to the feedback that you guys are giving me, and also not trying to do this because apparently I've been doing this. I've noticed myself. Okay, so first engagement not going super well for Mimile there, although no, I think it's just suppression, right? It's not a pen. No, it got penned. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. I mean, it's a pen to D. That one is a little bit easier to pen. SU-85. Oh, gets the kill. Wow, that's devastating. I think probably got a side shot. So nice positioning there by Onord. I haven't noticed if he moved that forward or if it was sitting there the whole time, but I definitely feel like he baited it into there. So that's definitely a great play. We do see the first mortar coming in the town. Yeah, these units clash into each other, but nothing major there. And it's not in the best spot. You can actually get into CQC range here. The Sturm Pioneer is helping with that though. Yeah, so the problem is going to be the open is now very contestable. Not very contestable. It's Mimile's for it's Onord's for the taking. Nothing that Mimile can do there. The guerrilla, yeah, unfortunately, is not the tool that you want it to be in this matchup because there's not that much infantry anyway. And he can't do much against any of these armored units. Oh, Marder here in a nice little spot, but gets instantly killed. Takes T-3045 with it, though. That's an uptrade. That's a really nice trade there. We see the first Boston of the game also coming in and bombing this. I mean, they could definitely open up a little push into the town here and potentially pressure this flag. I don't know if something died here to this SIS-2, but the SIS-2 definitely took some fire as well. Mortar still coming in. BA. This is a problem. The SDKF set, this is armored, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the SDKF sets that Zone 1 doesn't, yeah, it's not armored and does not have any AEP, or, yeah, armor penetrating route. So if this thing could actually move forward and maybe even kill it. Not happening though. Guerrilla versus T-3485 should be an easy win for the T-3485. Yes, HE can do a lot of damage, but as I was gonna say, the Guerrilla would need to get a lot of hits until this would actually matter. Pack 40 here unloaded. Can easily get some shots on the T-3485 there and should not struggle penning. The M10 is also a target that he can relatively easily take out. Flamethrowers coming in for the town to help with this. We do see a nice push forward here by Onord. 242 here. Could also shoot at it. It says free. Oh no, it's just out of range. The SIS 3 can do its work here, while the MG42 tries to suppress some of these units that are pushing forward here. Mortar half track is here not being used yet though. Maxim here pushing forward, matching against the MG42, that's not a good find. Yeah, because Mimile didn't actually try to contest this, the Strelki can just sit here and re-grab this flag. 13-11 now for Onord as he grabs this central flag. And Mimile is, has an income advantage here in A phase, so that's definitely not good for him. But as I say, a lot of times the income advantage is does not necessarily have to show right away, right? It takes some time for the units to arrive, it takes some time for the income advantage to build up. After 5 minutes, that's what, 100 points that Mimile got more, so that's not that big of an advantage just yet. It should add up over time, definitely. But it takes a moment for this to really matter. Panzer D pushing forward here, spots the T-3485. Cannot see the M10 though. If this can get close, like somewhere around here, it has a decent chance. Oh no, it's a Panzer A actually, so it will struggle a little bit more than if it was a Panzer D. But still should be able to do the job. Panzer A misses though. Now busy with the flamethrowers. Yeah, I just can't see any of these. That's really bad. Town has quieted down so far. Onord's push was dismantled, but he's still holding this, and he has some struggle SVTs and some afters coming in to reinforce that. There's not much here from Mimile. He has some Panzer Grenadiers coming as well, and the Pack 40, but so far not all that much. This Pack 40, gets taken apart by the T-3485 right there. Oh, Panther A finally gets the kill on the T-3485 leader there, and is now falling back as it should, because of course Mimile knows that T-3045 is here. So The problem is, if you can actually play around this hill, Mimile's advantage that his Panthers have over the T-30-45 is not actually that big, right? And right now there's nothing to cover this off either. So if he's concerned about getting picked on by the Panther, he can move through here, or he can just drive via this way, right? He can actually get his units up close and then can try to push in. And at this range, the T-30-45s can definitely brawl just fine with a Panther. It's not the easiest fight, but it's definitely doable. It looks like the North is abandoned by both players. Um, I can get that. It's not super easy for either of these players to push in there right now, and both are busy here. I'm surprised not to see any... Oh, never mind. Yeah, we see some preparations here for a fresh push down south by Onord. Now, the one of the reasons, of course, why I say that red side is the worst side here is not just that he can get pushed easily, but that red side has to push much, much further to actually grab flags, right? You have to push up into here. But he can, you can fight at these closer ranges here, which is definitely beneficial for the Soviet infantry. The problem is then that the range infantry from Lehr will still win, and Grille versus M10, also not a good fight for the Grille. Unless he can outrange the M10, of course. Marta pushing in. And some Panzer Panzerschreck. I mean, if they find the right spot here, they can actually hold this, and any armored unit that drives up will get the Panzerschreck. So that's definitely nice to have. But yeah, so at these ranges, of course, you still have the Panzergrenadier with the Panzerschreck that can also then prevent Onord from using his tanks for support super effectively. And once the T-34-76s are used up, the T-34-85s up close are not a good matchup for the Panzer Force against the Panzer Force, because the Panzer Force can trade up to them quite nicely. Now we see some recon. Panther A pushing forward, picking apart the armor here one by one. The problem is that now we see the mighty IS-2 coming in, and this is going to be a major issue. So Mimile is not actually going to profit from this flag all that much. And the problem is, as soon as you can control, like really control this open ground, oh, I think the Martyr, or was it the Puma? No, or the Pack 40. One of these killed the T-45. Yeah, that's great. But so the problem is, once you have this open, right, it's much, much harder to actually contest this flag for blue side, because like even crossing here is a pain then. So that's going to be a problem. Right now, 13-11 for Mimile, as it probably should be at this stage in the game with the income difference, but it's a hard-fought 13-11. Boston coming in, and the Focke-Wulf here. The Focke-Wulf cannot intercept the Boston because the 25 mil is here. 81 mil mortar is working on that. I'm not sure if it just didn't target the right spot or if it moved. Oh, but the whole LA5 in. Both players microing their plane, but is it fast enough? I'm not sure what's the speed of this Focke-Wulf. The LA5 might be able to catch up. Probably not anymore at this point. Yeah, and he calls it off. Well, it looks like the 25 mil was in the spot where, from the angle that the Focke-Wulf was coming, it couldn't shoot much earlier. So that's definitely good for Mimile there, because otherwise he might have lost that plane. Now is it a push down south? I think this is going to be a little bit difficult to handle now for Mimile, because he's not only going to have to deal with the southern push, he also has to deal with the center being opened up by this IS-2. It's not super easy. The other problem that Mimile is probably going to be facing is that the IS-2 is hard to kill in B phase, right? Because he needs the 300 mil Nebelwerfer for that. And in B phase, he doesn't have a high income. So he has to wait a lot to be able to afford this. So he needs to stabilize things to a way that allows him to buy this, or he's not going to be able to contest that, which means that he's not going to be able to contest the open in any way, shape, or form for that time. That's definitely not ideal. Mother has a gun champ, needs repairing. Yes, if I remember correctly, he has support in, yeah, he has supplies the support tab, so he could bring it now that we have reached B phase. But of course, that's a large portion of his income, so he has to think twice about that maybe. Grille and Panzer A versus T-34-76 up close. I mean, yeah, the Panther D is pretty much unkillable here for this T-34-76. The M10, on the other hand, can definitely do the job. It's in a dangerous spot, though. I think the Pack 40, yeah, covers off this road, so if it drives through there, it might get killed. This is one of the reasons why this is such a dangerous reinforcement road, if you don't know what your opponent has in here. The IS-2, I don't know what is spotting. Maybe just lost line of sight of the Panzer Lehr. Not 100% sure. Now the Boston coming in, the SKF Z71 has been moved more to the town. It's a dangerous spot. I mean, a T-34-85 could definitely move in here and, is it doing it? No. Definitely move in here and get that kill. Now it's moving more to the town. I mean, yeah, that makes sense because this is where, of course, Onord will probably continue to bomb. It's a good place for him to fight over the CQC infantry, although he probably doesn't want to go too heavy into an infantry fight because his infantry is very limited. But the other thing is that, other than that, in the open it's mostly going to be armor, and armor can just move if heavy bombers are targeting it, right? So there's not that big of, like, there's just no point in going after armor with heavy bomber unless you're really desperate. Or the Pack 40 reveals itself by shooting at the SIS-2, and I think it's going to get shot up by the IS-2. That's a problem because it could have easily killed that M10 and probably retreated in time, but I guess Mimile hasn't noticed and it's just continues to shoot, which is sad. Panzer A spots what? The after? Oh, yeah, must have. Oh, now we see the off. Yeah, so this is kind of what you have to do. You have to bring it in pairs. Otherwise, it's not going to work. I had a nice game that I'm considering casting it actually, because my recording of me playing it was not very good. Didn't comment enough. But I have a game against Avalzer where he used these, and if you pair two of them, they can actually work. Right, it's not an off map that kills, like nowhere near, but if you pair two of them, they can actually do some work. Oh, look at that. We have the Nebelwerfer ready to go, already pre-targeted at the IS-2. So this is something that I see good players do a lot of time to target. Then you put it on return fire, which means that it's not actually going to shoot. It's just going to target, and then when you want it to release, you can release it by turning off the return fire. So that gives you time to, like, if you don't have time to migrate, for example, like if you're not sure that you can be there right when it wants to fire, uh, you can have another look. Is it still there? Is it really not moving? What you can do, for example, is have a cheap unit walking forward so that this is occupied, like busy with shooting at it, and then you know that it's not going to move, and then you can start shooting at it. There we go, first solo coming, and we have the off map coming as well. Onord has noticed. Oh, it doesn't look like Mimile is gonna get lucky. That might let... no. It looks like it, but it doesn't. Probably didn't take any damage, did it? No. That's unfortunate. And that's really, really unlucky. I mean, the spread is big. Something to keep in mind. Probably could have moved a little bit further up. Ah, no, then it would have been spotted. Yeah, so it's tough. It's tough. Off map going down here. I mean, yeah, it does what an off map needs to do, right? It can still force units to move. It can suppress units. And that's really what you need. So in that, I think the off map is still quite strong, right? Because even two together are 80 points. And yes, it sucks, but 80 points I think is relatively affordable. And yeah, as I said, it needs to pin, and it does that. So that's one. Yeah. So if you really use it well, I think this off map can actually do some work for you. Oh, I think if Z71 goes down. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, or at least thinking. I was commenting on you could push forward and shoot at it, right? So having this right here in the open, in a range that Mimile knows Onord can contest, is definitely a major mistake. I don't know what his thought process was there, to be honest. Marder 3 disengaged from fighting the T-34-45. Boston now bombing this. Puma goes down. Yeah, that's bad. Pack 40 might get a pen here. Gets a pen, but will go down to the Boston, pretty sure. Panzer Lehr goes down. Oh, it survives, but if Panzer Lehr goes down, that's that flag lost. 13-11 for Onord. Your next off map is already going down on this flag. Just one. Interesting. But it's probably going to do the job for the infantry, although I'm not 100% sure. Focke-Wulf going after the boss. No, it's not. Actually, we can check at the speed. Okay, so the LA5 would have been able to actually catch it. Getting the bombing run is evacing. That's definitely the right choice. I'm not sure if... Onord forgot about it or if he deliberately flew it over here. Like the fact that it still circles makes me feel like he forgot about it. Because otherwise I was thinking that maybe he was trying to bait it over the 25 mil and 37 mil here. But it doesn't look like this was the case. But yeah, because now it's going to get a full burst by the Whirlwind. Next off map going down. Yeah, this one's okay. So it can still pin the singular unit in the center. That's good to know. Problem is this thing has, I think, high resilience, if not very good. So the Whirlwind, unfortunately, is not going to be able to kill it, even though it is at a single vet. And Onord has established himself quite nicely. The problem is he cannot continue further because T-34-85 is being blocked off by this Panzer IV here. And as we can see, the Panzer IV is in a nicer position that the T-34-85 cannot leave the cover here without being spotted by the Panzer IV, while just being out of range of returning fire on the Panzer IV himself. Panzer A pushing over here. Problem is he can't do much still because of the IS-2. Panzer Marder 2 goes down to I don't know what. In one of the Mordiers in a ballsy spot. Panzer Grenadier with only 2 health left, I'm not sure. Or get support from the Panther A, that much gonna win it. T-3045, yeah, I was about to say, I think this got killed in transport, and it definitely looks like the T-3045 has line of sight on the transport road there. Next off map going down, so Onord just continues to push. Not looking good for Mimile. It was 59 for a brief moment. With the Gavadia DP being suppressed, this flag goes back to Mimile, so back to 14-10. It's still anybody's game, I feel like, but is it though? Actually, looking at the ground, I feel like Mimile has gotten some bad trades. It's definitely less stuff on the ground. Now, some of his units are more expensive than the Soviet ones, but you see a lot of Soviet units here that aren't exactly cheap either. So, and then we have the Air Force issue. It doesn't look that good. And we see a nice thing here with a next push being prepared by Onord up north. Right, so we have some tanks for support and we have some tankos, just tankos and Resvetka coming in. They might get killed off here by the Panzer Grenadier with the Panzer Shrek. Not 100% sure. Probably, it can't probably kill all of these fast enough because I don't think it can reload this fast. But I mean, this is quite nice what Onord is doing here, right? He's constantly pressuring somewhere, and this is what good players do. You never loosen your grip, right? You have success in one area, you go to the next. Is it gonna get the kill? Yeah, it gets one kill. The other one, not in range hit, I think. Definitely not anymore now. And now it just gets blasted by these units, so not much you can do there. Boston, LA5 just circling around. I mean, the Air Force is now just on. Oh, the Whirlwind did go down. Did go down? Is it? Yeah, that's it right here. Well, not. Yeah, that's. I don't know. It's not looking very good for Mimile. It's not impossible to recover in C phase, but it still has a lot of units down south. The problem is they can't do anything because of this IS-2. So this one IS-2 keeps everything here in check, and that's really, really bad. Because even though I think it didn't get like any major kills, at least yet, it actually so far paid off because it makes sure that none of these units can actually do anything right here. Recon coming in. This flag's just barely being held by Mimile, but it's not an easy hold. And now the Strelki SVTs are just pushing the Panzer Grenadier out of this forest. I mean, the problem is, like, with the SVTs, this thing is just significantly better than the Panzer Grenadier in the forest. Despite neither of these being a dedicated CQC unit. Now the Nebelwerfer strike going on. Is it going to land? I don't think so. Mimile is not going to get much luck here today, isn't he? 17-7 now. Wow. And this flag now being grabbed as well, but this one can easily be re-grabbed. The problem is more that these roads here can be covered off. This one might actually snipe the Panzer as it is moving in. I think you should consider bringing things in over this road here. at some point. Another Boston coming in, just bombing this. Yeah, I mean, so if you don't have enough infantry and you could just off map and plane spam your opponent, then of course yeah, you can go a long way with the few infantry units that you have. You just need them to go in and clean up, right? And this is what we see here. This flag being recaptured, but it just doesn't matter for Mimile as he loses this flag right away. And 10 here spots the Panzer IV. Not a Panzer IV coming in. Ooh. 10 gets the first pen. Panzer IV does not. Oh, and goes down to the M10. Commander DP here goes down. Problem is it doesn't change anything. Yeah, off map now going down on the Pack 40 here. I guess Onord just uses off map cards for everything that he can see now because it doesn't actually need it anymore. He's just won the town. M10 goes down to the other Panzer IV, not before giving that Panzer IV a pen as well. And now the Panzer IV goes down to T-34-85. That's really bad. Panzergren here finally managed to get in. More Panzergrens stopped right here as they need to wait for Panther to cover things off. We have reached sea phase, so Mimile has access to all of his Panthers, which can do a lot of work. The problem is there's two IS-2s on the field now, right? So the south is pretty much uncontestable as long as this one is alive. Maybe things change now. Don't think they will though, because Mimile is just getting a lot of bad luck not today. Finally a hit. Is that one gonna? Oh, so close, so close. It's really damaged though. This could actually die with the next salvo, but the problem is like he still needs to hit it again, and with his current luck, it looks really, really rough. We will win here against Strelka DP. Yeah, that's not a fight you want to take with Strelka DP. You're going to absolutely get eviscerated at this verbal win. Panzer D here. He got a pen, but it looks like he killed the G34-85. This IS-2 is currently not in the best spot to actually contest anything. He probably need to sit somewhere like here. But it's not maybe not the best position in general, because you can, you know, there's ways to find some flankings to actually kill that off eventually. Now 2 Bostons. Is this the one with the... No, it's just the 500 kilogram bomb, so we don't... Oh no, this is the one with the big one. That's gonna hurt. Wirbelwind won't be able to stop it. Panther is on the run, so it's probably gonna miss. Yep. Kills the Aufklärer though. That's also quite good because recon is key. The tanks on their own don't see that much. Whoa, wow, one of the Boston goes down. I mean, he flew directly over the Wirbelwind and after already taking some fire by it, so that's quite bad. Now we see a counter push down south by Mimile. I mean, yeah, he uses his time, right? The IS-2, although not being killed, was forced off. So now Mimile actually had the chance to try and push back himself a little bit. It's going to show side armor to the CIS-2, though. And gets a pen. Ah, that's bad. Now the IS-2 is about to re-engage, so the Panther A needs to make a run. Which it does. Oh, Champagne here got stopped, unfortunately, and can easily get pushed out by just some Gvardias now. That's really, really devastating. Now the STKF sec coming in to cover this off. Nebulurfer already reloading and retargeted on the IS-2. The IS-2 is moving though, so Mimile needs to retarget again. 18-6 now for Onord as he cheeky grabs these 2 flags. This could easily be prevented. Back we go to the 17-7. There we have it. More Panthers now coming in and a Panzer. Oh no, it's still the same. This one's Panzer IV actually. Against the IS-2, that's not a fight you want to take. Although up close, the Panther A, it's 90-33 variant, so up close Panther A can actually pen it. At range it will struggle mightily though, so it's not a fight that you do want to take. And there we go. The delete button has arrived. IS-2 has just killed that Panther. The Panzer Grenadier here is still there, but the problem is there's a Tanko here preventing this line from linking up again. If Mimile finds a way to push through here, which can easily be done because Tanko cannot actually contest it, and I think that he might be able to re-grab this flag and link back up with his Panzer Grenadier there. Off map goes down. Looks like the IS-2 also killed off the Panzer IV. 2 Bostons now coming in. Can kill that and will flip this flag back again maybe. 18-6 after it was 16-8 after it was 18-6 for a brief moment. Oh, but most things here have died. There's not much left. As I have said here, I was gonna say, can get killed by these units, but he can also just obliterate everything here. We have another IS-2 coming in. Wow. So now it's just IS-2 holding, IS-2's holding the line, and there's nothing that Mimile can do other than hoping for one of his Nebelwerfers to win. And if the IS-2s keep on moving, Mimile's not gonna hit them. I was going after that one now. Because that one was just sitting still there. Oh, is he gonna get... Wow. Nice hit. So finally Mimile gets some luck. Man is finally getting a break and killing one of the IS-2s, which means that this is now open for grabs again. You can actually start contesting this and maybe re-grab this flag. He cannot stabilize just from that, but he's gonna get close to it. And then, yeah, maybe he can manage to actually get in there. Focke-Wulf is circling here, trying to target this. I don't know why it failed to get on target. If he knew that there was just one 45 mil here, he could just bomb that and get back in there. It looks like his Panzer IV here died. Pack 40, not in, yeah, no, not within APCR range. Oh no, it maybe barely was. Now it's pulling back. Is it? No, it's not out of APCR yet, so it can still do it. Another push here. I see some SPWs coming in. Problem is that Gavada DP can actually deal with that. More Panzers coming in. The problem is if you rely this heavily on Panzers, nothing is going to be cheap. Like, everything that Mimile brings is expensive. Looks like the ammo here is depleted, so more ammo needs to be rediverted to this Nebelwerfer if Mimile wants any chance of killing this IS-2. And truthfully, if the IS-2s are dead, then there's not much that's holding Onord's front lines. The problem is Mimile has only 3 minutes to do so. That's not a lot of time. Or APCR range from a DPAC 40. At this range, with APCR, it can pan the IS-2. It bounces though. And it continues to bounce. Oh, that's so frustrating. And it goes down. Was that a hit, the last one? Yep. But that's not enough. More tankers now pushing in. Glare Panzer IV coming in. The problem is the 45 mil sitting here, so I can stop that. Another Pack 40 coming in. Wait, when did I miss that? That IS-2 did go down as well. What killed that? Did the mortar kill it? I don't know. But this is it, yeah. Something killed that off. Nice. Great play there by Mimile to get that as well. The problem is still there's one more here and he needs to find the flags. And Mimile is doing the right thing. Onord. He continues just to pressure somewhere, right? Just to find flags, poke somewhere a little bit to make sure that Mimile cannot catch a break. Very, very nice play there. We have 1.5 minutes left. I do not think that Mimile's going to turn this around. He needs 3 flags now to stabilize. One of them he can maybe get, but the other 2, I'm not so sure. They are so close, but it just doesn't have the units there to do it right now. And the problem is that his Panzer Grenadiers are a little bit slow, so it's going to take a while for them to actually get there. Here, maybe, nah, maybe not with the IS-2 around. Pack 40 is now ready. I mean, once again, if in APCR range, he might be able to kill this. If he gets me a little bit more luck than the other one. Oh, I'm not sure if pushing forward here was actually the right play. Although, with the way these are sitting, they can just shoot at the Panzer Grenadier if I can shut up out of a wind. It looks like it's actually going to be the play here. Still 15, 9, 40 seconds to go. I don't see Mimile turning this around. I don't see it happening. No. 45 minutes still alive. Outside of cover, actually. Stern Pioneer here now coming in to clear this. I mean, if he could maybe have actually tried to just push forward with some armor here. No, he couldn't because of the 45 mil. That's super common. But yeah, it's so rough to watch. No, we have another row of Boston. I'm just gonna eviscerate everything here. Like, these things are disgusting. Armor cracked. Wow. Doesn't matter on the half track, but you know, Sistu here once again denies some cheeky little flag grabs. He actually gets a flag back to 12-12. So close. Maybe Mimile can actually turn this around. He needs to make sure that he can get another flag for sure, because this one's probably not going to last. If he can get that one as well, that might actually be the turning point. I did not think it was possible. Maybe it is. Penskadi here gets shot at by the Maxim. Oh, this one can't help. Oh, can he get killed by the 37 mil? That would be a problem. Ooh. It's a very thin hole now. Very, very thin. Yeah, it goes down. He just waited here, maybe. Oh no. Oh, and it was. Oh no. No. Onord managed to re-grab the flag in the center as well. So it looks like Mimile literally had like 1 or 2 seconds left. I was close though. It was close. I mean, look at the trades; they're relatively even, but very impressive by Nord. I mean, as I said, the flag is more favored for Mimile's side, so it is very, very impressive that Nord managed to pull this off. Now, at the same time, Vanguard, so not sorry, Vanguard, V4 Victory versus Maverick is just such a rough matchup, and at the same time, I feel like the fact that Mimile could not really deal with the IS2 as well was another major factor here. Let's look at the chronology here, because I wonder, yeah, we have the Boston's getting a lot of value very, very early on. That's definitely problematic. It can be a general problem to invest into your Air Force too early, but Honor didn't actually invest too much in this Air Force. He invested some into this Air Force relatively early on, but not too much, and he got a lot of value back from it. So that's a major thing there. Then yeah, we don't see that much blue basically. And here's a little bit more, but not all that much, and then is all just red. A little bit more blue again. And okay, so here Mimile actually starts to get some better trades. A lot of them actually. But it was just a little bit too late. And we also have to remember, right, some of the targets that Mimile kills, most notably the IS-2, are of course very, very, very expensive. So that might change this a little bit as well. So let's look at the stats here really quick. So the IS, yeah, so the SU-57 killing the Panzer D leader at the start was absolutely crucial. That opened up the entire center for Onord to play around, and it was a major issue there. Then yeah, the Boston. Although in terms of value, if you add it up, not sure if it's uh, maybe paid off. Definitely did in terms of what it enabled Honor to do, but maybe it even paid itself off as well. T34, D5. Yeah, look at this thing go. Yeah, the SDK said that was really, really hard. Also killed the Wirbelwind. Wow. This is the AA Slayer right here. And then some more Boston's, the IS2, of course. It got actually some kills. So that was the one up north in the town, I feel like. This one didn't pay off, but you don't need them to generate value as in they kill units. They can also generate value by denying your opponent an area. If you do it right, these things can absolutely be fantastic. They can also be a massive nuke trap though. So keep that in mind. On the other side, we have a Panther A that also in the center, I think, that actually did a lot of work there. The Focke-Wulfs didn't notice this. Like, wow, it's actually a lot of work. I haven't noticed. That's great. Wirbelwind, mostly in anti-infantry, but also killed some planes. That's definitely nice as well. The SAK Z1 actually did a lot of work too. And then an SPW later on, but yeah, it was just a little bit too late. But yeah, not that many units that did a fantastic job on the meal side. And that was definitely noticeable. But anyway, great game. So that means that so far, Meal and Onord are tied. Both each won one game, so no one really gets a major win out of this. Definitely interesting to see how it continues. Thank you all for watching, and if you want to see more League games, of course, check out some other channels as well. If I learn about a small channel that does some league casting that I haven't known about, I will let you know too, so that you can go check that channel out if you want. I know for a fact that Vampiro Gaming does it. He is casting more League in Division 4 and 5, and we also make sure that we do not cast the same games. But I'm sure there are some other smaller channels that cast League as well, so once I know about those, I will let you know that so that you can check them out as well. And of course, the big ones I do not need to introduce. I'm sure Attack Power will start at some point, and I would be surprised if Vulcan won't also cast some games as well. But for now, this is it from me. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day and see you next time.